Are you happy? Are you content? Are you feeling joy? Are you open to abundance this year? Are you not slamming yourself and other people? A lot of people do that, the endless chatter of the mind, right? It's crazy. I saw so many great broadcasts today on HAPS. If you can, sign up today. Find your voice on HAPS today. That sounds like a great slogan. Write that sucker down. Let your love flow freely without fear or regret today. Be careful of the words you speak when you're angry. And it's true. We say things we don't mean. We do things we don't mean, right? Just take a breath. If you're losing your mind and you're upset and the world's getting to you, just know that this is a temporary condition. It's just this moment in time. It is not the full day, the only day, right? So it's like one of those things where if you looked at the day, right, the 24 hours, and someone took 15 minutes of your 24 hours away from you, they frustrated you, made you upset and hurt your feelings, right? But you still have a lot of time left in the day to fill it with wonderful things. And that's what we need to do. We need to fill our minds with beautiful thoughts and surround ourselves with gorgeous people. And what I mean by gorgeous is wonderful, warm souls that truly care and are full of compassion. Love yourself without constantly judging every move you make in the future. Well, for many of us, that is easy to say and hard to live, right? And I pray that you find moments of peace today during the holiday season. Every day is an opportunity to shine your light, reconnect with the souls that awaken healing, and be focused on that healing, right? Don't be all tied up in the chaos that's the world today. The weather here in Toronto, it's a winter wonderland today. It's so beautiful. It's snowing out. And I'm telling you, there's something about Christmas and having the day full of snow, right? It just brings back so many memories. And I remember as a young man, I would say I was maybe in my 20s, and I was driving to go see my grandmother. Her name was Fran. And my grandfather, Al Bathurst, a bit of a character like me, used to make us feel so loved and nurtured at Christmas time. And I would get so excited to go. And sometimes I would literally risk my life driving from London, Ontario, or wherever I lived at the time to Toronto. And many times it was like looking inside a ping pong ball. It wasn't safe at all. And if you can just spend a few moments today calling the people you love, or just being in your mind and remembering the wonderful thoughts of those who have passed and having gratitude for all the work that they did. I don't think I ever realized how hard my parents worked, or my grandparents, to make Christmas so beautiful. I was so loved as a child. And I realized that many children don't ever feel that way. And many adults never really feel encouraged. And that's what this channel is for, right? Connection, reflection, and people who are seekers, who are trying to get together. Merry Christmas, everyone, from my daughter, Laura Hope. Hi, Laura. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. It's great that she's up. Her puppy is probably not letting her sleep too much. Patrick Voss right now is live, so you can also check him out. Never be afraid to fully feel alive, for this is a magical time in your life. And it is. It really is. Never ever forget that you are divine perfection in motion and you are alive with endless possibilities. And don't let a few nasty curmudgeons steal your life force from you. I'm really curious to know how many people feel about this format. So please be patient right now, right? It's in beta, they're learning. There's multiple formats, which means there's multiple ways for this app to fail or screw up. But for myself, I run it through the computer and it has been running seamlessly. Excellent. And I notice too now that when people do outdoor videos, the clarity is phenomenal. Now, I wish they had a wind mic where you don't hear the wind so bad, but all we're doing is capturing energy and we're capturing frequency each and every day. And if you can tap into the higher frequencies, you will live a life that is truly blessed. And if you can, get outside and be amongst some tall trees and just be in silence for a few moments. And if you can today, if you get just a few moments alone, just pray, right? Or meditate. And be extra patient with the relatives that drive you crazy. I'm going to have a little sip of coffee here. There you go. Have you had your cup of joe yet this morning? I'd also like to thank some of the people from my past. Terry, how are you, buddy? I hope everything in your world is going really well. Terry and I, many, many years ago, used to run a shop together. He used to help me all the time. It's such a kind soul. And I constantly think about that time and how far I've come from that time. I was very lost back then. And it really wasn't that long ago. It was the early, I think it was like 2005 to 2010. And I was really just trying to discover who I was. And I think I was a little lost in the material world and ego, and everyone does that. Mark, how are you today? Hello from Los Angeles. Well, Mark, you're working countless hours. How are you replenishing your well? Mark, would you like to come up in the broadcast for a few minutes? I would love to ask you some questions. Let me see. I'm learning. Let's see here, Mark. And you have a great name, by the way. There you are. Okay. I just invited you. I hope you come up. That would be great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm hoping long term to get more of the spiritual people on the network, but I'm noticing that there is some beautiful frequencies and energies that are being shared amongst all the broadcasters. And we're all part of something, and we know that it's kind of like a basement opportunity. And it's exciting to be part of something that is so full of love, really love. And that's what is life about, right? Except for love and connection. And I'm hoping that this can be a place where there's less trolls and good content, and people can be passionate and be themselves and not too worried about if the video is perfect, right? And the quality on here is fantastic, but I think it's important that people know that it doesn't matter if you get 9,000 views or you get 9. If you touch one person in a positive way and make them feel connected to something greater than themselves, that's great. I'm still not too sure how to use this. Stack, pipe, grid, wide. I have no idea. But I would love sometime to just interview you and some of the guys from HAPS. And there you are. Okay. So I see you. Are you coming up? How do I just click it?
Yep.
Aha! There we go. Perfect. Fantastic. Thank
Morning,
you.
Michael.
Thank you for what you're doing. I
Thank
hope
you.
you know that this is far more than whatever amount of views you're getting right now, because the world is really suffering and we need something to be excited about and feel connection with each other. And I feel that there's something greater than ourselves that is moving this forward. You must be doing countless hours trying to get this right.
Well, it is true. It's been a lot of hours, and I haven't been sleeping much recently. I was just all these thoughts running through my head. But yeah, absolutely, Michael. First of all, you have been such a tremendous supporter, and I can't thank you enough. I see your tweets and your engagement on all these broadcasts and the energy and enthusiasm you're bringing to the platform. I know it makes a huge difference. To your question, Michael, I don't know if you know our vision statement.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Our vision statement has been for the whole 2 years that we've been doing this, to connect the world through empathy. And as you know, we originally started this for journalists, and our ideal was that people would go with these journalists and experience these stories and gain a greater understanding of the world and each other. And we're still very much committed to making that happen. But obviously, we've expanded the types and the numbers of broadcasters on here, and I think that vision statement has just become even more relevant, as we've done that. And it's really, it's really remarkable to see what's going on here. And we definitely have a goal to build this into a very large platform that's a successful business, but we also have a goal to have a really positive impact in the world in doing that.
I'm very connected to the spirit world. I know that sounds kind of woo, but I know that you've been open, we'll call it open, to this platform for 2 years, but there's a door that's been opened in the last 2 weeks. And I don't know if you're noticing it with the numbers, but I get in the new year, it's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. And you're going to have some wild times trying to keep up with the traffic. And I feel like there's a reason, like, I don't know if you know this, but Randy and I are pretty good friends. And we've had... and Randy and I are very polar opposites in many ways. But I love Randy, and I think Randy tolerates me. I think he thinks I'm in the astral planes of insanity at times. But he cares about this format. And he reached out to me and said, Mike, get on here. Get on here now. This is you. This is wired like you. And I'm seeing a softer side to him. Like yesterday, he was talking to a Christian, I don't know if he was some kind of minister or something. And I was genuinely worried for that man. And then I thought, no, there's a beautiful side of Randy coming out. So I don't know what this format's doing for him, but he was very angry when he was on Periscope. And I was frustrated on there too, because I always felt like anytime we tried to take 2 steps forward, it would be full of trolls and crazy people who really didn't care about the format. And you guys blew me away the first day when I saw your devs working to make the platform real. I thought I was dreaming. Like, and I mean, like a real experience for people. Sorry, I talk kind of. Yeah. What's happening right now is I'm tuning in to what I'm feeling. And then it's almost like unpacking a piece of energy. And then the energy comes out. And then I have all these, let's call them voices, that are wanting to send message to you and saying, look, just be strong. You are on the right path. You know, this is something you've wanted since you were little, to make a difference. It isn't just about money. And they know that. I don't know if this is people who've passed on or if this is just your spirit guides, but they're telling me hold fast. And I get that you had a bit of a cluster. I'm going to cluster F last week. I don't know what went on with you, but just know that through painful situations, the greatest forms of enlightenment happen. And this will be in your book and part of your story. So you'll laugh about this period later. Laugh about it now. Choose to laugh about it now. And I get that these words are resonating through you because all this is energy. This is all we're doing, you and I right now. This is frequency. This is energy. Nikola Tesla talked about it. You know, if you talk to kids and you talk Tesla, they're going, Elon Musk. And I go, no. Yes, I like Elon Musk. He makes great cars. Yeah, yes. No.
Yeah.
But
generational thing, Michael. Generational.
You're going to find that people are going to pop up like myself that are wired this way, and they're going to help you. Wow. And I'm going to do everything I can within my power, which is not much, to get the word out there for you. And it will be every day. And I will engage with the people and I will try to get... The problem is with a lot of people that are wired like me, they're not comfortable being on camera. I'm an oddity. I'm a bit of both, right? Most people who are very spiritual don't really like people very much. I think they like pets better. But I genuinely believe in what you're doing. So can I ask you a couple questions? Is that okay?
Please. Happy.
Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is, beyond the money and the status, which will come, I'm hoping that this is something that will give you a greater clarity of what your purpose is here on this earth. And I really get that your heart is opening as we talk about this, and you're feeling this. And it's not just words. And your guides are telling me that hold fast, it's coming. Everything you want and more, and just have faith that it's going to be taken care of. So the weird thing is, the first question they're asking me is, what are you most grateful for in this situation right now?
Well, I'm grateful for all the people that are coming here. You know, exactly to your point, Michael, you know, I've just always had this desire to make a difference in the world, and seeing this community that's kind of hopped over to HAPS from Periscope, and the way they engage with the broadcasters and each other, and the way the broadcasters are engaging with each other. I mean, this is exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I was hoping for. And everything you're saying so resonates with me. It has been a rough road. There's no doubt about it. You know, it's taken us 2 years to piece this together and figure out the formula. And I'm incredibly blessed that the team has stuck with it and you know, accomplished all that they have done. You know, I'm grateful on so many levels. It's hard to pin it down to one thing, but you know, I'm grateful to be in this moment, basically, and to have the opportunity that I have and that we have.
And that's all we ever have, is this moment. Yeah. We are not guaranteed anything tomorrow, but you're laying the groundwork here of something. Like, I don't think people realize the internet is really awakening now for the first time. And this platform's going to be used for more good. it used to feed the anger and the frustration. And I think you used to get a lot of cowards that would come on. I hate that word, but that would come on and want to just feed the darkness. Where now I'm finding more and more formats are really feeding the light. And I feel on some level, you've really started some strange ministry here.
Well, you know, I love the idea that HAPS can be about connection and about understanding and as I said, empathy. You know, that's just a beautiful vision for me. And I also, in that regard, I you know, I've been watching the comments. I didn't want to interrupt, but there's, you know, some just amazing people who have tuned in, and I'm so
go ahead,
grateful.
say hi to them, say hi to your family, say hi to your people. That's why we're here.
Yes. I you know, so many of them have scrolled by, but I saw Helen and British Sky and Patrick and Bannerman I see is in here now. You know, it's just it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You know, I'm blown away by this whole experience, and I really do hope, you know, and you know, not just for the business side of this, but for the bigger, you know, meaning of all of this. I really hope that it does take off, you know, in the next year the way that you're talking about, because I think this world desperately needs to gain a greater understanding and a greater humanity.
Sorry, folks, with the comments, but when I tune in, there's only enough of me to do the tuning in and the talking. And I can't really do comments. I can't explain. I wish I could make people feel the way I feel. But as you were talking, they were saying to me that you need to put a little more emphasis on family, and you need to maybe let go of some things that have happened in the past, or maybe even recent past. I don't want to get into details, but that you're not fully understanding this. Like, not everyone's going to see through your lens or have your vision or the patience that you've had, but there will be colossal benefits to this, but there also will be some damages. And unfortunately, any great vision, sometimes family does go to the backside sometimes. So, and just know that there will be a greater understanding of what you've done maybe in 5 years, because they will see the seeds that you've planted and the harvest. And right now it's going to suck bad at times. That's what they're telling me. It's going to suck really bad. But financially and spiritually, and even just for your status in the universe, like, if you do this right and you do this with the heart wide open, anything you possibly want in the material world will come. And they're also saying repeatedly, which I don't know what it means, and maybe you do not take the first offer. It won't be the best. And as I was being told this, I was reminded of the time when MySpace offered Facebook $750,000 for their format.
Oh my God. You know, the funny thing is, I mean, everybody obviously, you know, with all these massive successes in tech companies and what's happened, everybody's always focused on that aspect of it. To me, that's, and I'm not just saying this, to me, that's down the line, not even where we're focused right now. You know, the focus is on really, you know, how do we make this a platform that facilitates the connection? How do we make this a platform that works for the broadcasters and then for the viewers, so that they can connect both with each other and between each other. And that's all that matters right now. It really is all that matters. It's so critically important. But you're definitely channeling into something, and I just want to go back a step and say thank you for the reminder. My family is incredibly supportive and important to me, and I appreciate the reminder to acknowledge that and to constantly be keeping that top of mind. So thank you.
They're also telling me that you have laser focus, that you are driven to the point of almost madness at times. And it even in your dreams, you're processing and problem solving. And I get that you have some of the pieces that you need, but your greatest problem is going to be to handle the flow that's coming. It hasn't come yet. And you know it. I know you know it. That once Periscope is down and there is no choice, you're going to have, oh my God, a fiasco of insanity. So you may have to be somewhat selective. Yeah. And what you've built right now, we don't want it to be washed away in a sea of craziness either. Right? And the truth is, you can't build something in 2 weeks or 2 years. It's what's that thing? 10,000 hours or 10 years of your life or something. He's like, Michael, I want to shoot you. Thank you for that.
What?
When I said 10 years, you looked at me like, what?
No.
Do you have the emotional gas to keep doing this for 10 years? Really?
Truthfully, Michael, I that's a great question. And I guess we'll just have to go on this journey and figure it out. I think that I will have to strengthen myself and my being, in order to accomplish. No question.
If I get too personal, just tell me or just leave. But no. What are you doing on a daily basis to replenish your wealth? We got Randy here too. Can we bring Randy up? You going to behave, Randy?
I'm always behaved. I'm the best.
Hey, buddy.
This is awesome.
Let me see.
How you doing?
It's nice to.
Okay, now I can see.
Look at that. You've got a whole new. I think someone stole Randy. We've got the clean cut guy with this. There you go.
What's up, Michael? How you doing?
We're just being my woo woo self today here. I don't know if you were watching at all.
I went to the laundry and then I seen your invite and I pressed it.
Perfect. Well, I was telling him the reason I'm here today is because of your wisdom and saying I should join in, and I've really enjoyed the experience.
I sent you a few invites. You ignored them. How did you enjoy them?
I've been going to other broadcasts where the frequency is higher, and I've been trying to see. You and I already have a relationship. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but we do our best.
It's perfect.
So where do you see HAPS going, Randy?
HAPS is great. It's the way forward. Get on the plane and head to the future, or you're going to be gone before you know it.
Yeah. See, I agree. Yeah. Do you also think that when they completely shut down Periscope, this will just blow up, like in the sense of the traffic will be insane?
Possibly. Let's see. Let's hope not everyone wants to come over. We have a good percentage of people over there that are just not the most positive individuals on the planet.
That's what I just said. See, we actually agree on something.
Yeah, a lot of folks over there just, they're demons.
Yeah, we don't. So you have a huge network of the people that you talk to daily. Do you still have insane problems with trolls, or is that stopped?
Not really. I handle them well. I don't really. It doesn't. The whole purpose of a troll is to make you react. If you don't react, or if you react the way I do, they just kind of leave you alone.
Yeah, see, my problem is I try to heal them, and they're totally freaked out and leave.
I usually start by insulting their mother. I move to their grandparents, and usually back into the DNA.
Well, that's two very different approaches. That's
yeah. So either way, hello, what's happening, Corey, and everyone there. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just ignore. It just depends on what they say, what they do.
Yeah, like I had a bunch of trolls in some of the first ones I did in Periscope, and I got talking to these individuals about their past and their mother and why they were so angry. And by the time I, shone enough light on them, they were like, this guy is totally not affected and sniffing modeling glue.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
A lot of people I think a lot of it's just like there's not even adults. I think it's just youngsters.
Yeah. Well, we got to remember too, Randy, that so many people right now don't have any form of entertainment and don't have any form of connection. And I think when they see someone like you who's got such a huge network, I think it makes them look inward and they don't like it.
Yes, but it all has to do with guidance. A person is no better than a crop in the field. You've got to water it and nurture it and take care of it for it to produce. If you don't water, nurture, and take care of a child, it doesn't produce a good individual. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We talk about trolls and look at this. Trolls are looking for reactions. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I think on some level, though, they're looking for attention. They're looking for the loving embrace of Randy. That's what it is.
Good thoughts, I guess.
So tell me about the guest you had yesterday, the minister. I was actually worried for him, and then you were being so sweet to him. I was like, who is this Randy? Is this the new and improved Haps Randy?
I'm good to everybody. If you feel insulted, you're a wussy. I'm good to everybody. If you feel insulted, you have a tiny heart, and I can help blow it up in anger or in love.
So you're like the Grinch who stole Christmas. Is that what you're saying? And you picked up the sled, and your heart grew 10,000 times larger since you've been on Haps. People, if you want your heart to grow, go on Haps. Sign up today. It could change your life.
I don't know. I don't really have any problems. People know that I go in and stir the pot. I try to be the opposite just to make something more exciting. If I would act just like a normal individual, things are kind of boring, man. Somebody said the Terminator. I hear you. Okay. I think you do great, though. Your stuff is good. That's funny. You thought we weren't. You thought we weren't friends in some way. I don't understand that.
I think we're rival brothers. I think we're like the two spectrums.
I never felt it. I never felt that at all.
Well, you see, I think you gave me some tough love. That's what it was. And now I'm lost.
I just figured, I'm an American from Tennessee, and you're from Canada. Canada is nicer, pleasant people. I'm a little rough around the edges.
Would you use the word gruff? Would that be a word you use?
Yeah,
a little gruff at times.
Betty's more humble because of Haps. There you go. Haps isn't making me humble. Okay.
So, of the broadcasters that you have right now, sir, Goldman, I love that name, by the way. Who are some of the people that you're most excited about?
You're talking.
I'm talking to Mark.
Mark's here. I didn't even see it until just now. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Randy.
He's been taking notes the whole time.
Oh, I didn't see you hidden over there. Well, okay.
I'm the quiet one, sitting in the background, just observing.
Oh, well, good. Well, I just woke up from an afternoon nap. I don't want to interrupt the question. Go ahead. What you were talking to Mark.
Well, you're like me. You have a big personality, so we tend to fill the room up real quick. So, Mark, who are some of the people that you have in your? I shouldn't say stable. Within your ministry. No, I can't call it that either. That you're excited about, Mark.
So I'm excited about a lot of things. Those two words I am not excited about: stable and ministry. We've got to excise those from the vocabulary of HAPS.
I agree.
First of all, I obviously have a very special place for the journalists that have been on this platform for a while and that believe in us and were willing to take the leap with us very early on. So Alex Mohajer and Liza Donnelly and Marianne O'Koon and Peter Stern, Shivani. These are amazing people, and I hope everybody, Tracy Eaton, I hope everybody has a chance to connect with them and gain exposure to what they're doing. But recently, that as you've alluded to, expanded exponentially, and I'm enjoying. I mean, so many people on this platform. I literally, as you alluded to earlier, I woke up. It was like 2 a.m. this morning, and I, eventually gave up trying to sleep and came downstairs, started working around 4, and I tuned into somebody doing Japanese language lessons, and it was amazing. I mean, so personable and, connecting with his audience. I was blown away. So he was my discovery for today. And I feel like every day I'm discovering new people. And, I would say very few of them, although there are some, very few of them I'm not totally excited to see here at HAPS and just, have part of this.
The other thing is I think there's going to be certain individuals that will take them time to develop and get used to the format, right? Because this is wild. Like, think about it. We're talking to each other from totally different parts of the world. We're all connected seamlessly, like we're in the same room. There's definitely different levels of respect and love in this room, which is phenomenal. But I think a lot of platforms, they love where it's mostly debate and people try to shred each other. And I haven't seen a lot of that here.
I really haven't either. To your point, Michael, I so love that Randy is on here and is as active as he is, because one of the places in the world that is so misunderstood is the Middle East in general, but Saudi Arabia, even more so. And the fact that Randy is able to let us all experience what life is about over there and have a greater understanding of the people and the reality is, I think that's what HAPS is all about. And I just hope that we keep expanding our reach so that everybody can have that from all over the world, literally down to every city and every neighborhood.
That's fantastic. I agree. I love the reach around the world. I used to get on the other app and I would just look around the world just to see what was happening many times. Yeah. And I met a lot of great broadcasters that I follow and they follow me still today from doing that, I would be bored like you, wake up in the middle of the night. Hey, let's go see what's happening in Russia. And there's a guy jumping in an ice thing, and he's such a great character, and I enjoy those kind of things.
Totally.
You know, it just there's so many unique people on the planet. You know.
Totally. And I think, you know, the beauty of HAPS is that it strips away all of that pre-produced nonsense, which is the way we used to be exposed to people all over the world. You know, we'd be exposed through the visual medium that was, you know, produced. And now we're exposed through a visual medium that's authentic and real. And I think
Chris in the Philippines, sorry, I had Philippine people starting to say hello. Hi.
Randy is so good at keeping up with the comments and making every person who comes into the room special. And I think that's one of the things that has made his audience grow, is that if they're feeling like they need some form of connection, be it early in the morning or whenever, and Randy's on what, 3, 4, or 5 times a day. Like, he's relentless. It amazes me, his stamina. Like, oh my Lord, I've got snow falling off the roof here. Just scared.
Well, I mean, from everything that I've heard and everything I've learned, you know, the 2 things that are really important to developing that connection is, you know, being on regularly and engaging with, you know, the comments. That those are far and away the 2 biggest things to establishing, you know, a relationship and a following.
I can say I probably, even though I may have thousands of people, I actually know each and every person individually, where they live, what they do, what they like. And it's not just, I don't know, it's just following the comments. It's like, oh, it's like people I know around the world are checking in and telling me what's going on.
And, you know, we hope, and I don't want this to sound solicitous, I'm really trying to talk about this as much as possible so that people understand the motivation behind it. But I hope that the viewers and the community gain a greater understanding of why we've set up this whole idea of sponsoring and supporting broadcasters, because I think ultimately, you know, that's a really important component of this as well. You know, it's great that there's a lot of people who come on here just, you know, because they want to share, but there's a lot of people also who, you know, need to be supported in their broadcasting and are doing very important things. And I really hope that the community we build here is all about supporting each other on many different levels, including, you know, financially.
Yeah, I think it'd be wonderful if in the long term, many people could supplement their income, and maybe long term, you know, like a 5-year thing where they could do quite well on here through sponsorships. And something that I would love to do for you, if you could, is if you could send me some types of images that I could put with my Twitter shouts every day, and just kind of bombard them with whatever you're comfortable with. But I can.
Oh my God, I'm glad you said that. I'm sorry to interrupt. Take me out of those. My God, there's a million people sending me Twitter messages I don't know. And I'm tired of it. I love you, Michael, and you're a good guy. But remove my name from those things, please.
You feel like you have enough love in your life?
I don't need any more love. And it's
no more love. No more love.
It's just crazy. Please.
Oh, it is crazy. It is crazy. I'm currently, one of the ways I make my living is supporting businesses and doing it through that. So I give this to Randy.
If you support business and make money, then keep doing it. I don't mind. Go ahead. I'll deal with it if you make money on it.
Well, but I'm doing
No
it for
problem.
free.
I'll sweat it
I'm
out.
doing it for free for you, Randy, because just out of the kindness of my dumb old heart.
That's a good way to put usury.
I think Randy and I have been friends many lives. I really do. I thought that from the first time I met him. When we did the first couple of broadcasts together, people were asking us if we were related. You know, and I always think of us as kind of like Fred Flintstone. When Fred Flintstone had the little devil here and then the angel, and it depended on what broadcast I was. Sometimes I was the devil, sometimes I was the angel. We would switch roles, Randy and I. He's not going to say anything. Okay.
I'm just listening.
I know you're dying to say hello to your people. So why don't you do that for a minute or two? Just.
I'm listening. I'm actually enjoying Mark's input and what he's talking about in the community and how he's sitting there. There's not many people that sit back and say, here you go, world, and let's hope everything works out. But this is what I would like to see. I think that's a great thing, you know. Very seldom do people that are actually at the foundation and the growth and the beginning of a company sit back and talk to their customers or the people that's going to be involved with them. And Mark, the main thing about the difference between HAPS and anything else I've ever been involved in is your guys are out here talking to people every day. That means something. If you don't do that, that's the secret. That's fantastic.
Well, it blew me away. Blew me away. I saw that.
Randy, I so appreciate that. And I'm sure that it's not going to be a surprise to you. They do it passionately. You know, like they are really committed to this community and this platform and this vision. And you know, it's become more than a job for them, for sure. It's become a passion, which is a beautiful thing to see, for sure.
It sucks you in, actually. You get going in it, and whether you're in business or broadcasting, the next thing you know, you're kind of like, you went from a few people to thousands of people that you're keeping track of every day, and you're worried about what's going on, and you're actually thinking about it. And you feel that when Peter gets on, when Pablo gets on, and when you get on, we feel, oh wow, this is cool. All right, so one step up. Let's keep going. I really enjoy it. Thank you.
I really like Pablo's energy.
We really enjoy it too, and you know, companies pay crazy amounts of money to do focus groups. We don't need to do that. We just come here and we hear what's working. We hear what's working for everyone, what they like, what they don't like, and we're just trying to listen and trying to be better every day. I read a book, I think it was William Campbell, who's kind of a famous guy in Silicon Valley, and he had a philosophy: be better every day. And we had that up in our first office, up on the whiteboard, and we haven't been talking about that, you know, for the past year. Quite honestly, it's been a really uphill climb for the past year. And you know, I'm reminded of that talking to you guys now. That whole philosophy of just being better every day, and you know, I want to get back to striving for that.
Well, from what I've seen, I'm only seeing people who are passionate. I am seeing signs of burnout a little bit, but that's normal. You know, I think you guys burn the candle at both ends. You have a wick at each end. Not everybody's superhuman like Randy. You know, I've often wondered, but yeah.
You know what it is, Michael? Your time zone. See, when you wake up, it's in the afternoon for me. When you go to bed, it is kind of like my morning. So it seems like I'm always on to the US or North American crowd. But in the Asian crowd, they wonder, where have you been? So it just depends on the time from where people are watching.
Yeah.
You know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's so great to see these awards and to see the support that everybody is giving. I'm seeing an unidentified user. I wish I knew the name, who's given, a coffee award and a great interview award, and a happy holidays award, which is fantastic. I just wish I knew your name to be able to acknowledge you with this. And I see Paul just gave a Golden Mike Award, which is amazing. That's a big one. So thank you, Paul. That's fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to try something, Michael. Seeing as how I was in the car and I'm on an iPhone now, I'm going to try to automatically switch to my laptop during the broadcast.
Sure. We're all about experimentation.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Let's see if this works.
Okay. Oh, look at this. More stuff falling off my roof. This is divinely inspired. Help.
Hold on.
All right. We had just had the spirit of Jimi Hendrix there, guys. We had a little bit of feedback. Yeah.
By the way, I also want to acknowledge Patrick Voss, who's, a regular and very active broadcaster on HAPS, and he's been great. And he was raising his hand constantly earlier, trying to get us to see him, and he wanted to join the broadcast as well. And I just wanted to do a shout out and say hi to him and thank you.
You know what would be great, honestly, is us three and maybe one other guest. We'll meet once a week, maybe for a half an hour if you have that time, and let people gripe and talk about the wonder of Randy. No, I mean your platform. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to invite Patrick. Let Mr. Voss. Mr. Voss needs to come on up. Are you still here, Mr. Voss?
Invite him. Or do I invite him? How's that work?
It's your broadcast. You got to handle it.
All right.
I really like Mr. Voss. I watch him only because I totally agree with everything he thinks, and he challenges me. I love that. Yeah. I really love engaging and being around people who totally agree the opposite of what I agree. And I mean that in a good way, because I don't want to sit around cheerleaders all the time. I like people that challenge my ability to think different.
Yeah. By the way, we also had Helen in here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. If you guys haven't tuned into Helen's broadcast,
she's cool. She's very cool.
Amazing. She is a really cool person and just has a remarkable way about her.
Yeah. What's her last name? Helen
Voss. Oh, I thought you were talking about Pat.
Helen Wallace, I think is. I think that's her last name. Patrick Voss is.
While you're looking through that, I'm going to say hello in the comments if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go
What's happening? Costra, hello, Randy, horizontally. Yeah, am I horizontally? I just changed from the phone. I thought it was different now because now I just went to my laptop. Anyway, Michael, can I join? Send invite, said Brother John with no picture. Well, okay, Brother John wants to join. William, Randy, can you follow Anthony Purcell, U.S. Army in Korea, just signed up. Yeah, anybody follows me, I follow you back. There you go, Mark. Make it where I can follow everybody in the world. I'll join everybody, throw something at them, and try to motivate them. I spend a lot of time just trying to get people that I follow people. Okay. I spend a lot of time clicking the little dots. If they were already there, I could just see them automatically.
Yeah. Brother John is one of the people that inspired me many, many years ago to have the confidence to go on. I can't even remember what format it was back in the day. It was so long ago. Yeah,
Patrick Voss in the room.
Oh, there he is. He's got his microphone. He's ready. He's flexing. All right, we're good. Here we go.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Whoa, what's happening? Patrick Voss, my favorite socialist liberal. Woohoo! What's happening, man?
Nothing much. Just getting ready to celebrate here in a little bit with my wife. Open presents for Christmas. And then later today, I'm FaceTiming my daughter so we can open presents with her.
Patrick, does your wife get frustrated with you when you're on here all the time? Like, because my wife thinks I have issues.
No, she knows what I do for broadcasting regularly on radio and what I do for commercials and everything and all my interviews. So she understands when I'm on here constantly, I'm building an audience. She knows what I'm doing. She knows the business model. And for her, I mean, being a lead singer of a cover band out here in Chicago, I don't think she has any issue at all.
I saw your show once. I loved it. It was really good. Is it a co-host you have with you, or was it just a guest?
I couldn't hear what you said there. What?
I loved your show the one day I saw it.
Oh, beautiful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Patrick made big news yesterday, made big news yesterday.
Made fake news?
He's going to be covering the Olympics for us on HAPS, which is pretty
well, I'm going to be talking to you guys about sponsoring, but yes, I will try to do exclusively with HAPS, for the broadcasts.
Hey, wait a minute now. I already sponsored that. If you're double dipping, I want action.
Well, what I'm saying is making sure that I'm being sponsored to get out there and having the shirts. Yes, Randy, but also for HAPS themselves, making sure that I'm sponsored as far as we're pushing the broadcast out if we can, because I will exclusively then be only on HAPS when I do all of my live streams, like all of them, updates and all.
It's amazing.
3 weeks in Tokyo.
We got Mark here. Let's tell him. We were trying to ask. Can we want to use your logos on his shirt?
We are going to put together something. I'm working on that. It's on the list, but it's still in progress. But
can we make our own and it won't bother you?
I'm sorry?
We can make our own and you won't mind?
You can do that. Absolutely.
Mark, I did ask you a question earlier about sending me some images, maybe through email, that I could use for Twitter. And then Randy said I destroyed his life with so much traffic on Twitter.
Michael, let's coordinate offline on that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I figure with Mark, not to bother you too much, then we probably would do something offline as far as the Olympics goes.
It's become a business meeting for Mark here now. So he's like, what have I walked into here?
Well, that's not
about energy and reading my past, and that was deeply intense, man. And now we're at the opposite end of the spectrum of deeply hardcore business.
Yeah, I guess we should tone it down, everything we want and everything we need. Let's get back to some normal chat. So, Mark, who was your first love and when did it happen?
And do you have warm, fuzzy feelings for Randy? There we go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't hear you anymore. I'm signing off.
Yeah. There's something wrong with your mic.
What? I'm going to pass on that question, Randy.
Okay, no worries. I can understand that, Patrick, what have you been up to, Patrick?
Just getting guests ready for next week. I have 4 guests in 5 days for next week, all on HAPS. And then first of the year, I have 3 more in the first week.
Yo, what's happening? Somebody said, Mark Compton. Hey, what's up? Mark Compton says, Mr. Voss has a great voice. You rock, man. That's good.
Hey, appreciate it.
He sounds like one of those rock DJs.
I love the way
thank God I'm not a music DJ anymore. I'm just doing sports and politics. But yeah, no, music DJs and the morning zoo DJs from the past.
That's all fan. Look at Michael, look at Patrick and myself. Mark, you're lucky, but the rest of us, we look like old babies. I wonder what happened. Do you ever feel like an old child, Patrick?
No, I mean, I'm 32 years old. I still got I have a lot of life to live. I'm 32.
I shaved the beard off, and now I keep looking at myself like an old child. I'm kind of shocked. What's up?
Patrick, now that I have you here.
Hey, guys, I had no idea what time it was. I got to run and finish up a few Christmas presents.
Yes. Mark, Thank
my
you.
apologies, but this was awesome. Loved hanging with you guys. Michael, loved the conversation. Fascinating and inspiring and scary all at the same time. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
I've heard that before.
wishing all of you guys a really happy holiday and look forward to more of these. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Same to you, man.
Okay, guys. Cheers.
See you next time.
Thanks, Randy. Cheers.
Bye. So, Michael, quick question.
Yes.
Where'd you get that great shirt? I love it. I couldn't find a Christmas, like a holiday shirt. I love that one.
There's pants too.
No way.
Yeah, they're like velour. They're beautiful.
I love it.
So, Patrick, now that we have Mark who's left, please explain Donald Trump to me.
Really?
Within like 3 minutes. If you can do it within 3 minutes.
I can do it.
I got to bow out. So we'll see you guys later. I don't do that. Okay. Have a good one. I'm out of the program now. I'm not into bashing my president. Have a good day.
Well, you asked me the question, and I don't need 3 minutes. I need 30 seconds.
Well, you've got all the time in the world now, because I knew that we were going to bother Randy there. So
it's okay. Randy actually has, depending on the conversation, Randy actually is very into the conversation, depending. So for describe Trump. Trump is one of the biggest, oldest children I've ever met in my life, as far as ever seen in a high office in this land. He is very, very immature, to the point that I can't stand hearing new news about him. I don't want to. There was one point in 2019 where I stopped for a month and a half. I stopped reading Twitter altogether. Twitter, Facebook. I wasn't on YouTube watching any new videos of politics. Nothing. I had actually been burnt out. And normally that doesn't happen to me in radio. That does not happen to me. So the fact that this guy was able to do that to me shows you how much I'm annoyed by him. I think that he didn't want the job to begin with.
Really? Do you think he did it as kind of like a publicity stunt? And
of course he did. Of course he did. He wanted ratings, and then he realized he could actually win this thing, and he decided, well, I'm going to keep going because nobody's getting sick of me yet. And then he won, and you've seen that he's done basically nothing for this country in 4 years. So you watch that, and just that alone should tell you that he did not want this job. He just wanted the name Trump to say President Trump. That's all he cared about. He doesn't care about what is good for the country. He cares about what's good for his name, the brand Trump. That's all he cared about. So no, that is Trump to me in short form is a snake oil salesman that accidentally won the presidency. That is what it is.
Okay. So, but you seem like a very intelligent man, that a lot of times in those situations, they're not really in power. They're just a figurehead.
In certain situations, but they do work with certain cabinet members and organizations. If they're smart, they'll work with certain organizations to actually make positive moves in the country. And I didn't see any of that from Trump when it wasn't needed, or when it was just to make him look better. Because he was dragging in his ratings across the country. Then he would do something to look better for about 5 days, and then he would do shitty things, and then he'd look better for 5 days and do it again. I mean, it was just a roller coaster with him.
I'm going to say something. You can tell me what you think.
Sure.
I like Joe Biden.
Okay.
But I have a feeling, and this is just myself, okay, and I'm 57 years old, and I know I am not mentally what I was at 30. Just not. So I can't imagine the cobwebs when you're in your 70s. So, but I think what he's doing is really helping to heal the country, or at least he's presenting that.
I agree.
I wish there was a law that you could only be vice president if you were over the age of 70. If you're 60, then you can run. But think about it. If you're in there 8 years, the likelihood, if you're at 78 or 75, you're going to be gone, unless there's some bionic alien drugs I don't know about that are going to keep us alive into our 90s. But
so where are we going with this? Where is this going?
I'm curious if you feel that we should have a limitation on the age.
Well, no,
in the future.
I think so, yes, but it's always been. I also think you should have a limitation on how many consecutive terms certain cultures can hold office too. I think that it would be smart to actually represent all of America and not just have old white men. The only difference to that would have been Barack Obama, and that's since the country was founded. So that tells me that there should be equal representation there as well, not just as an age range, but also as culturally as well. Because you will find a lot of people, you'll find out whether or not these people that represent the country culturally, if they represent the people that they come from, and we'll see. I mean, we eventually will have white people be the minority in the country, and when that happens, I do think that the days of old white America being the presidency and vice presidency are way over. They'll be over by that time, which will be nice, I think, for the majority of the country, because they've had X amount of hundreds of years now to be under the thumb of a certain type of rule, and now they're able to kind of take the reins for a minute. I think that eventually, if it got back to, we the people, and we the people were able to vote and have our, almost like a committee meeting on a large scale, and we were able to have just representatives and no president masthead, and we were just to have Congress and have equal representation in Congress, then you're talking about everyone gets a say at the table. Everyone can really have something to do with the final bills and laws that are passed, instead of saying something as silly as this, like COVID relief bill that had $600 on it originally, which of course we all know isn't enough, but $600 was on the bill. Then a person like President Trump can say, I'm vetoing that. And then they go back and try to do a $2,000 bill, and the House Republicans say, screw that. So it's back and forth, and it shouldn't be that difficult if people are actually being represented in the government and they care about the people's interests, which they don't seem to at this point. That is where we need to change fundamentally in this country. If we do that over time, we will see a country for the better that will actually speak for the regular everyday citizens, and the citizens themselves will be happy, which in turn will spend money to the economy, will keep, praising the new people that get in office in Congress, making sure proper representation is held. It's always, that would be a good circular motion to have instead of what we have now.
Okay. When you get going, you can roll, brother. That's a gift. That's a gift you got there. The gift of the gab.
Sorry about that.
No, not many people can do that. I love seeing someone in the flow, and you were definitely in the flow. What do you think drew you to politics? What do you think? Because you're definitely passionate about it.
Yes.
So where do you think that comes from? If you had to, beyond who's running, I'm more interested in knowing, do you need to go? You good?
No, I'm good. Okay.
I
was just getting ready to answer you, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
I feel like Ace Ventura, where he's going to suck in that long breath of wind, and I'm going to just get going. I think I think what got me into politics is there's things that run in my blood, right? I'm related. I have relations throughout the country and over time that have all been about moving things forward in this country. There has been the Native American chief, Quanah Parker, who was basically the Native chief for Native American civil rights movement. He was one of the main mastheads for that, and I'm in relation to that person. He was moving forward with Native American civil rights. Then you had part of my family in the Grissom family for civil rights during the 60s as well. Now you have also during the space program in the 60s, Gus Grissom is a relative of mine. So it's always about moving the frontier forward. It's always about moving forward and doing what's best for the country for a long-term solution. And that is why I also, with my father being in radio for over 20 years, I was trying to make my voice heard when I had something I needed to say that I thought made sense. Not that I just want to talk. When I talk, I want it to make sense for the country. I don't want it to make sense for just a few listeners in Timbuktu. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm
trying to
carry that.
Debates? Like, so if you and I were on here together and I got a couple people that were Trump lovers, could you be civil?
Sure, as long as they don't result to ad hominem right away. Yes, absolutely.
I love that. I love that. It was really nice meeting you. This is I've been on here now a whole hour and 10 minutes, but you never know where this is going to go, right? There's a flow in this. And I remember when I saw you in the broadcast and I thought, I want to meet that guy. And like Randy was even saying that he loved how you challenged him and made him think outside the box. So, and
I like Randy. Yeah.
Well, Randy is gruff and he will not hold punches. But if you,
sorry,
go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to say Randy is nothing worse than what I saw my father growing up. So it was no big deal. Like Randy was fine as a person. It's no big deal. So when he gets a little rough around the edges in certain subjects, fine. But I've dealt with that all my life. So it's not like I'm not used to that.
Before we go, how do you deal with trolls? What do you do with that situation? Because we were talking about that earlier, and that's one of the things here on apps they want to stop is, and I think that's near impossible. Once the avalanche of people from Periscope find they don't have a home, we're going to have a lot of people knocking on the door here.
I feel with trolls, I mean, I don't entertain them at all. I don't entertain them. If they're here to cause grief and mischief when it's not needed, then I'm not here for it. If I'm because I've been in radio for 16 years now, I don't deal with people that don't have actual conversation to give. I don't care about that. All this extra fluff, this trolley fluff, I don't care about any of that. That is not needed in my broadcasts. Whether that's been Periscope, if it's Blab, if it's possibly Get Vocal, even though that kind of went to crap. Now that it's here on Haps, I feel that when I have my guests on and I'm talking to people in the comments, if a troll comes in, now that they have the block feature, I'll block them right away. We'll get rid of them. If we have to, and they're not on Haps, then I will mute their comments for all future comments and make sure they never comment on my stream again. That is how it works. I don't have time for them. I have to keep moving forward. There are people that are actually in my streams that I've had, 2,000-3,000 people in a stream just to make sure that they get what they came for. They wanted to come for a conversation. They wanted to come for the Golden Voice of Chicago. They wanted to come for my guests, and I'm there to deliver it for them.
I don't know if you know anything of my background. I'm kind of a spiritual guy. I'm into energy and frequency.
I heard you with Mark.
Yeah, so that's my gig, and I'm all about connection. So when I usually end a show, unless we are going to have Brother John come up here, brother, if you want to do it now. I always end the show with, what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? The opportunities that I'm receiving that I can use to further things like Haps, further things with relationships and friendships that I have on here and many social streaming platforms. The luck that I'm getting in order to work with people like Randy and Candy Sakai, who are the main funders right now of my trip to Tokyo for the Olympics in 2021. I mean, I've had people that have been very, very, very nice to me in my life throughout it. And I feel that not taking advantage of those opportunities that they're presenting would have never landed me than where I am now and in the position to be where I'm at now. So I'm very, very grateful to everyone that has been, and I don't consider them stepping stones. I consider it just steps in a journey to a greater good, whatever that is, whatever the greater purpose of, and I don't mean purpose as a higher power, but I mean purpose as in what purpose can I make to help someone tomorrow or today? If they're willing to be comforted by my words or relax when I'm doing a broadcast, that is worth it to me, that they can leave smiling and having a good time.
That's cool. I'm a big believer that each and every day is an opportunity to touch the souls around you and through reflection and connection. And I get that you genuinely care about your audience. And I got that the one time I watched you. And I enjoyed a lot of your skills. I'll call them skills. You definitely have skills. And there are some similarities, I even think, between Randy, myself, and you, that we enjoy being center of attention, being in the camera, the limelight, whatever you want to call it. But as I've gotten older, and I'm hoping with yourself that you'll see that this is far more than just a political thing, that you're actually gifted when it comes to catapulting your energy out there, and people are drawn to it. And they may not even like what you're saying, but they find you fascinating and don't know why they keep coming back to listen to you, even if what you're saying to them may be totally against their belief systems. So you have a power here, and with any power, there's great responsibility. So,
Nice.
yeah. All right. So thank you, folks. It's been fun. That was a strange cast, but I feel like something greater than ourselves orchestrated that today. And thank you. I will hope that our paths cross again, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks
Is there
for having me
anything
up.
okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. How you doing? I'm going to, before I go, I'm going Brother John, you're not feeling it? Happy Holidays Award. Well, thank you, sir. Raymond Simmons, thank you very much. And Jane, and I'm so sorry about the comments, folks. Today, we did horribly trying to keep up. It was nuts. And Brother John, I meant what I said. You know, you were one of the first people who inspired me to get on. I don't know. I think I saw you in Google Hangouts way back. And this was, what, maybe 2010. And I was just starting to awaken in my journey. And I've had people like that who have just been so kind over the years and supportive. And if you can, anybody that's in this broadcast, please follow Brother John. He has a great network of people. Can you read my message? Jane, how are you? Jane, would you like to come up instead of doing the messages? We can quickly do something. The other thing that I'm quite good at, I don't know if people know this, but I can do energetic readings. We'll call it that. So I'm hoping to do some more of that in the future. But I think what's going to happen probably once a week is we'll have a bunch of people get together and we'll just talk about what's going on with the pulse of the universe. And I pray that you guys will continue to support and be a positive light for HAPS, and know on some level that Christmas is about connection. And if you are not a Christian, may you just enjoy this wonderful holiday season and connect with the people. Oh, there's Randy. Randy's back.
Yeah, I was having a problem. I went to another broadcast and they said I was flashing everywhere. So I was tried to fix that, but I guess I couldn't.
Well, I loved your Hendrix interpretation where we had the split screen and we had two of Randy rocking and rolling. So
that is weird. How did that happen? You know,
I thought you were in your own broadcast.
I was in my own broadcast. How did I get back into yours?
Well, you know what it is? Sometimes there's greater powers than yourself, Randy, that draw you and I together.
Yeah,
Randy and I are not brothers, by the way. Sorry. We both have stunning looks, but definitely on the stunning part. But
yeah, I just, I'm really, that's one of my pet peeves. Mm-hmm. I don't sit around and chat with anybody who bashes the office of the president. I don't care who the president is.
Yeah.
And I don't take part or promote in anything that does that, When you look at over half the American people elected someone and then you bash in front of him, you're telling half of America they're idiots. And you're being.
Do you know this Jane here?
Jane came over. She was going to come and tell you to take me out of here. Jane, I came back in here. Jane tried.
Tried what?
She was trying to tell you guys to somehow delete me because my name in the dropped area, I guess, is why I kept going on and over and on and over. It was very weird.
Okay. Does she want to come up and talk to you? We can do that.
I don't know if she can talk, but that was done. She was in the other broadcast trying to help me get out of this broadcast, which I came back in to tell you. But I'm looking at the screen myself.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering how
you know what it is, buddy. You know what it is? It's because you went from one format, you were on your phone, and then you switched over. So you're probably locked in both formats right now. I bet if you look at, oh no,
you're right. I'm looking at it right now. I'm locked on the laptop talking to you, and then my phone is down there in the whatever position that's called.
Yeah, and you're probably doing that on YouTube right now, live. Hello, YouTube. So, Randy, I was about to end the broadcast here. So, tell me what you're currently grateful for. I always end the broadcast that way. So, I'm glad you're back. Unless there's something that you want to talk about, or if there's someone else who would like to come up, but I do need to start my day soon here.
I'm grateful that Michael's here, and he's trying to be very nice and casually in the broadcast in a Canadian way. He wants to tell you, hey, I want to go do some crap. Are you done yet? But he said it in such a pleasant way. It's beautiful. And I'm grateful that you say things in a gracious, pleasant way. I like the way you casually do that.
I've always said, I think your energy and my energy together are great. I think it's a good balance of the two. But I'm noticing a lot of
show years ago where the two guys together in their apartment, the skinny black-headed guy, the older grumpy.
You said this before, The Odd Couple?
The Odd Couple, yeah, that was such a great show.
Yes. Am I the slob that's got all the clothes on top of me and you're the one? Yeah, you are a clean freak, right? And
I'm really a clean freak. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a clean freak. Yeah, what were their names? Felix and
Oscar or Unger or something like that.
I don't know. Is someone here? I don't know. I keep hearing stuff. Stuff was falling off the roof while you were talking earlier, like chunks of snow. Huge chunks were coming down, like to the point where it was just.
Yeah, that happened to me last night. I kept hearing things. It was kind of funny. Things in the house and the cat sitting next to me. But then again, I have neighbors now, and I never had neighbors before. Somebody lives above us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like I'm not used to that, you know, somebody walking around and throwing or whatever they do. It sounds like they're driving a tractor around the house. Somebody had an Oscar. There you go. And Jane, she'll pass on coming up.
Is this a form of cleansing, what you did with the hair and the face? And is this like a rebirth? Or
no, I do every year. Once a year, I shave off my beard. I head down to the barber. I get a facial, a peel, a wax, and then usually I grow the beard back. So once a year, I just do the complete. I need to shave everything off, see what's under there, and have it scraped out to make sure. I don't know. It's a cleanly thing, I feel.
That's good. That's good. And how are things going with the diet? You still?
It's killing me. I'm losing weight every day, but my belly's not falling off. I may have to go in for a little liposuction.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and I love what you said before, is it took you years to get where you are now. It's going to take some time to repair the damage. And it's the same with me. I know if I was to lose another 20 pounds, it's not necessarily all going to be on my gut.
Yeah, my leg, I'm losing my weight everywhere except where I want to. I mean, it may be coming off my gut, but it's not shrinking, you know?
Yeah, I noticed it in your face, honestly, in your neck.
Yeah, face and neck get smaller, and I think, you know, what little backside I had that held up my pants is now gone.
Yes, yes. So are you going to get suspenders?
I don't know. I'll just wear my pants backwards. I don't know what to do.
Well, sometime in the future, which will probably be tomorrow, I will wear the full outfit, and then I will showcase it to you, the pants and the thing. My daughter also has the same outfit. Maybe we can. She's supposed to go on later today, so we'll see. And she's going to probably do some singing. My daughter's a singer as well. I don't know if you know that.
That's fantastic. No, I've never seen your daughter.
Yeah, so you'll get to meet her, and I'll just say this is Uncle Randy. You never met him, but we lost connection many years ago. He stole my girlfriend's. No, I don't know. I'll think of something.
Anyway, well, again, it's great to see you. Go ahead. What am I grateful for? I'm just grateful every day to wake up and be alive. Life is the greatest thing. Everything else is a bonus, you know?
Well, I honestly think you're doing a great deal of good on your broadcast, and you are helping people. And there's a real heaviness right now, especially in Canada, because we all feel like we've been on house arrest for too long. And I'm absolutely terrified what the numbers will be like after Christmas, because most people are like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to see my family. So the numbers, like right now, they're currently 2,400, and we were losing our minds last year. Well, not last year, 9 months ago. Feels like a year ago. They were around 300 a day, and now but our numbers are ridiculously low in comparison to the States.
Yeah.
Like they'd have everything open if they had our numbers, like percentage.
I don't know. I think I must hang around different people. Everybody I know is happy and having a great day and enjoying life. I don't know. I just don't, even here in Saudi, roaming around with friends and people I know, everybody would like to travel, but other than that, I haven't seen really a lot of negativity with the groups and the areas that I, roam in. Now, I do have a relative. Hey, Debbie Mack, welcome. I do have a relative that's suffering business-wise quite a lot due to, they were self-employed and it killed their business. So I do have that happening. I do have a relative suffering greatly. I mean, they killed their business.
Well, all the mom and pop stores in Toronto, and there's so many amazing restaurants, at least there were, but I would say at least 80% of the places that I loved going to are now gone. And
Dave from Amarillo. Sorry, I was just saying hello. Continue.
Go ahead. I like that. I like when you do that. I think that's the one thing you do really, really well, better than anyone, is you connect with your audience, each and every person, and make them feel important. And
that's a Southern thing, man. I'm from Tennessee. If somebody says, hey, you don't say hey back, they'll go, hey, what's your problem, asshole? You know what I mean? People don't like that.
Yeah,
so it's like fighting
words, right? You're better than me. You think you're too good to talk to me?
Yeah, what's your problem? So that's the way it is. I just was raised that. You always say hello. Even driving down the road in Tennessee, when you pass somebody in the car, you wave at them, even if you don't know them. That's just kind of normal.
All right. What time is it now, Randy? Oh my God, it's almost 11. Okay, Randy,
you got to go.
My brother from another brother. I do really have to go. So listen, everyone, that was wild. Before I go though, if you can do something within 2 minutes or 3.
Yeah.
Now that Mark is gone, Mark Goldman, right? Nice man. He's working really hard. What are some of your predictions in the next 3 months for this application? Because I really honestly respect your business mind when it comes to things like this.
Once people understand, as a broadcaster's perspective, you are saving money by using HAPs. That's the number one thing. Before, to have 2 people on and to have any bells and whistles, you had to have 3 apps running. You had to pay a monthly fee at StreamYards. You had to have an OBS account. You had to have, I don't know, I had like $90 worth of accounts to do the same thing I'm doing here with no extra money at all. Be honest, I broadcast for a long time, spending more than I was making or breaking even when it come to broadcasting. Like a lot of the Periscope stuff, no matter what donated, I end up spend all that money just trying to keep everything going, especially the StreamYard bill. And then you have the OBS stream, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Did you ever get into all the billing?
No, I honestly,
you have to pay to keep going.
The last 10 years, I've barely been on the internet. I've done some Twitter. I've been more on a spiritual quest, and it's only been, I think, actually, since I met you, that I kind of got a fire under my ass to get on air again. You and another guy named Jace Jacobs, who I'd love for you to meet. Yeah, I don't know. I think I got to a point where it was like, it's time. Shit or get off the pot. If you want to help some people, then start doing it. Don't just talk about it. And
well, your broadcasts are really good, and I really, really enjoy your solo broadcast. I'm not into it when you have a guest, but your solo-ness is great.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, have a good one.
Not a guest like this. I'm talking about when you have a guest next to you, side by side.
Oh, you're back there. You like to poke the badger. I swear to God, you're like that guy that, he puts the stick in your back wheel when you drive by and go, hey, how you doing?
I decided at that time it was funny. You were doing really well. People were really enjoying you. And then you brought up, less than.
Ravi, yes, Ravi.
Now,
I
he's
would love to
about as fun as a hangnail with pus in it. It's like, God.
Well, I hope I'm a little better than the pus and the hangnail together.
You outweigh it by 100 pounds. Believe me, you're doing fine.
Oh, thanks, buddy. All right. Merry Christmas, my friend. I hope to talk to you later. You might even see the daughter later. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to try to now. Hopefully, when you cut off, it'll cut off everything this time.